Let's just imagine that this thing that this particular palm-colored man said on live show on Fox TV, to be precise. Let's assume that it is a black person, or it is someone of my color that actually said that. What will you think would have been the repercussion? What will you think would have been the consequences for this? It is sad and it is annoying that people can just go on live shows and just say, like recently, I don't even understand what is happening. They just go on live show and just point it black. You hate the people of my color to the point that you can't hold the hatred. You have to pour it out on a live TV. Then you're now coming back with some silly and annoying apology after saying what is in your mind. All in the name of because the prayer that a particular person prayed for 33 hours did not work out. Welcome back to the page, guys. Let's go ahead and watch this video, then I'll be back with commentaries. Credit belongs to original creators of every clips and stitches I have in our today's episode. And yeah, this is just for educational purpose. Me and you will learn from this, and let's just watch and then drop me your honest opinion, what you think about this particular video. Let's get right into it.
Suggested simply killing homeless people. And why would that be something that a Fox News host suggests? Well, to some degree, we are seeing a great disinhibition. I'm going to explain that in a moment. Let's take a look at the clip of what he had to say. So Brian Kilmeade is floating involuntary lethal injection for people living on the street. His co-hosts barely flinch and they just keep going. Think about what that means. We've got a host of the most watched right-wing network saying that the solution to poverty and to mental illness is state-sanctioned murder. No outrage, no accountability other than a bad apology. And in a sense, this was so bad that Fox News even made him apologize. Take a look at the apology.
In the morning, we were discussing the murder of Irina Zaruska in Charlotte, North Carolina, and how to stop these kinds of attacks by homeless, mentally ill assailants, including institutionalizing or jailing such people so they cannot attack again. Now, during that discussion, I wrongly said they should get lethal injections. I apologize for that extremely callous remark. I'm obviously aware that not all mentally ill homeless people act as the perpetrator did in North Carolina, and that so many homeless people deserve our empathy and compassion.
Why is it that this is going on? There is a great disinhibition taking place here, and it comes from the top. The disinhibition when the President of the United States says, we're just going to federalize and militarize. Wow, I did not expect to struggle with that one. Militarize Washington, D.C. It's justified because Trump said it is. We're going to roll through the streets and oppress and suppress. So, of course, if you're a Fox News host, you go, let's go even further. We see this tragic instance of gun violence, the assassination of Charlie Kirk. By the way, there were 20 other shootings on that day. They got relatively little attention. But, okay, we had a day with 21 shootings, might have been 25, might have been 30. And they, to a degree, now have said it's open season on liberals. And so, of course, Brian Kilmeade is disinhibited. And this, by the way, the specifics of lethal injection, this all has a very ugly history. States like North Carolina forcibly sterilized poor people into the 1970s. Hitler admired American race laws when he designed his system. And so we like to pretend that there's nothing American about Brian Kilmeade's rhetoric. And I would argue there shouldn't be anything.
One thing I don't like to do, and y'all gonna learn this from me, I've said it before, but I do not like responding to trolls because all they are broken, empty promises and not real pages. But I was gonna do this anyway, but I waited. Anyway, you know how you wait because somebody wants you to do it? Like, where's this? Where's this? First of all, I am not the news, boo. This is my page. If something's interesting to me, not to you, to me, I will talk about it. And I was already going to talk about it, but I needed more information because there's a lot of lies spewing out. So we're going to separate this and give this man his own video because that's what he deserves. You ready? Let's talk about Corey. I forgot my tea because I'm going to need it for this. Okay. It is important for me to take this moment, for you to take this moment to address the situation. I don't like doing this, y'all. I don't. Like my soul is like, girl, don't do it. But I'm going to do it because this is my space, my time. But we are here to talk about Corey Zucaitis, a man who was found hanged in Mississippi. And it's a separate story from the other one, okay? Because each young man deserves its own story and its respect. We are not comparing. You understand? See, some of y'all love to come and create new accounts and just come to comment on a page of somebody that's speaking the truth about their community, but then you want to insert your community. Stop. Because that's what people are doing in my comments. So just a few days ago, I don't know if y'all know about this, but it's also trending. On a morning show, you know that man said a horrific statement suggesting that homeless people who refuse help should be lethally injected. And 4 days later, Corey, a homeless man, was found hanging from a tree.
Remains open pending autopsy results.
Vicksburg tonight, where a man was found hanged. According to the Warren County coroner, 36-year-old Corey Zucaitis was found in a wooded area near a casino. The coroner said he was found at 10:30 this morning. The circumstances of his death have not yet been released.
Now, I'm not here to say that it's a direct link, but I'm here to raise a question. Again, for the people who really don't pay attention, but somewhat pay attention, they got selective hearing. I said, I'm not here to say it's a direct link, but someone on a public platform daily suggests violence against vulnerable people. What kind of message does that send out?
Say a man was found dead hanging from a tree this afternoon. Police say the discovery was made in the woods on Washington Street near one of the casinos of Vicksburg. Captain Curtis Judge identified the victim as Corey Zucaitis of Brandon. Now, police say right now the case is being classified as a death investigation. No other information is being released at this point.
Do you notice that team of investigators are putting it as a death investigation until they know more, instead of hurry up and saying, oh, they unalived themselves? Because what kind of message does that send out? One, I'm tired. I'm not really tired, but this is a message to all of you people who think, you know the people that create the accounts just to comment and then say, well, what about Smurfs? What about pumpkins? You know. But I got you, because I'm tired of people jumping in my comments and trying to derail the conversation, whether we're talking about a black life, because this is my damn page, or if we're concerned about others' lives, because it's my damn page. Where are your videos, homie? Don't worry, I looked. You don't have any. Practice what you preach. Where is it? Like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do because this is my page. I'm naturally curious. It's not going to be, one thing. Whatever my curiosity pulls up, I'm going to talk about it if it's important. And if you don't want to watch it, please scroll. We don't need you here. Just float on by, you know. So let's focus on Corey. Let's give him the dignity of being seen as a human being who matters. His story stands alone, and we're here to talk about it without comparing him to the other young man that I made a video with without even talking, and y'all get pressed about that. Yes, I can sit there and say nothing and have a voice over in the background of another woman saying something and me just sitting there with words across and y'all pressed about that. But then y'all come in my comments talking about, oh, this is AI. What about the white man? You don't even know his name. And I found this on YouTube.
Well, on the other side of the state, a homeless man, mid-30s, he was found hanging in an area where homeless people typically frequently go. We don't know whether there's no real information on this guy because he's a homeless man.
Now, I saw someone today that was being harassed on TikTok, and in 2 minutes from a fake account commenting on his page, he found out who the person really was, found their sister, their mother, and their address.
Hey guys, recently something happened. This gentleman by the name of Brian Kilmeade, I think that's his last name, he's on that station that got sued by Dominion for all those millions, nearly $1 billion. Well, he got on his little comfortable little white couch with his little comfortable little friends and the little sellout on the end. And he had the caucasity to say with his full chest that homeless people should be euthanized. That homeless people should be involuntary euthanized if they do not accept what the people want them to do, that they should be unalived. He said that with his full chest. Now that's evil on a whole other level. For you to have the caucasity to even let that come out your mouth. And after you say that, guess what happens? A homeless camp got shot up and 8 people were unalived. The power of life and death is in the tongue. Brian, those deaths are on your head. Yes, you manifested that into existence. And one day you will answer for that. You will answer for that as sure as I'm sitting here. But the fact of the matter is, those platforms y'all have, they're very, very influential. They're very powerful. You reach a lot of people, and you do not respect the power that you're sitting on. And you're out here sprouting things that are causing people their lives. And one day, what you do to the least of my brethren, you have done to him. So I hope you are ready to be held accountable for what you have spoke into the atmosphere. Because the Almighty on high is listening, and he is taking record. And you may not be afraid of anyone on this earth, and that's cool. But my faith and my trust is not in anybody on this earth. And I know that everyone will be held accountable for their actions. No one gets away with it, and neither will you. And that little measly mouth apology you did, that doesn't erase the fact that you caused 8 lives of innocent people whose only crime was they were homeless. Yeah, you guys are real heroes running around here speaking death on people who are already unfortunate, already underprivileged, already lost everything. But that's not enough for you, that they've lost everything. You also want them to lose their lives. The cruelty that you guys have, the cruelty that you are capable of, is mind-boggling. And it truly lets me know that there is a vacant place in you where your soul should reside. So many of you people are soulless. And it's so evident how you are so careless and so frivolous with the lives of other people. Oh, but if it was your life, I bet it'd be a different story. May those people rest in peace. And also, while I'm at it, rest in peace, my brother Trey Reed. A young gentleman that was found unalive hanging from a tree at Delta College in Mississippi. You want to hear that on mainstream media. You want to hear a peep out of that. But we know what's going on. And the fact that you don't have the courage to go after your own, but you use these incidents as an excuse to come after people who has nothing to do with it and nothing to do with you. But your hatred for other people's existence drives you to the point to where you are nothing but a bunch of murderers. But you don't have that same energy for the one that killed one of your own. That is the biggest form of cowardness I've ever seen. This place has become a real disgusting place to exist.
I'm about to show you guys a clip featuring Brian Kilmeade over at Fox News, who's come up with a rather clever solution to America's homelessness problem: execution.
Billions of dollars to mental health and the homeless population. A lot of them don't want to take the programs. A lot of them don't want to get the help that is necessary. You can't give them a choice. Either you take the resources that we're going to give you, or you decide that you're going to be locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them.
Yeah, Brian, why did it have to get to this point?
Right. I would say this. We're not voting for the right people. In North Carolina, wake up.
See, it's stuff like this that made all the pearl clutching, because people weren't donning sackcloth and ashes and mourning for Charlie Kirk quite enough was so insufferable. Conservatives advocate for the mass killings of people all the time. Homeless people, people with no health insurance, all the children in Gaza, they don't care. Like, they like it, they celebrate it. So, yeah, if you guys want us to stop calling you Nazis, just quit saying Nazi shit.
We live in a world where a Fox News host literally suggested that we should simply lethally inject all the homeless people and just get rid of them, and then made a very half-hearted and, quite frankly, disingenuous apology after no doubt realizing what a horrific thing he said. I mean, if you really genuinely hold such a hateful view, you would think this person would have enough brains in their head to not share it. Certainly not on live TV. And whenever I think the bar can't be lower, whenever I think there is no way that certain people can show their contempt for their human beings in a more real way, you hear comments like that. And it just goes to show some people genuinely don't see, they just don't see people who may be going through a hard time as human beings, worthy of love, respect, attention, and support. And I guess it means for those of us that do, we just have to work all the harder to negate that nonsense. Follow me for more legal tips.
Somebody watched the North Carolina Fox News anchor suggest involuntary lethal injection for homeless people. Like, oh my God, what does it come to in this country? I can't even believe that that's on the news. Like, how is he not canceled?
November 10th, a Fox News host suggested that we use lethal injection on homeless people. His co-host was talking about how homeless people fail to take any resources that they are trying to provide for them, and his response was, yes, if they're unwilling to take it, that we should just give them lethal injections. Just kill them, he said. If this doesn't show you their mindset right now of the solutions to all the problems is death and violence, I don't know what else does. They don't want solutions. They don't want to end gun violence. They just don't want certain people having them so that they're not on the receiving end of it. They don't want kids to be fed. They couldn't care less. They just want to make sure their kids are fed. They don't want everyone to have health care. They just want to have health care. They don't care about anyone else but themselves. It's a very sad reality that we're living in, that people would honestly believe that somebody who lost everything and is now homeless should just be taken out of this.
This is Spoken Word by Daryl P. I call this Fox News host Brian Kilmeade suggests lethal injection for the homeless. Well, dozens of people are losing their livelihoods over comments on Charlie Kirk and any perceived slight. Fox News' Brian Kilmeade reveals his distaste for the poor and a bloodthirsty appetite. When one Fox host demanded that homeless people be locked up in jail, Mr. Kilmeade suggested just kill them if any offers of help were refused or all efforts to rehabilitate fail. Involuntary lethal injection was the term he used to make cold-blooded murder acceptable. No compassion or empathy to those down on their luck, or pity for those with mental health issues or the diseases of drug addiction susceptible. While Charlie Kirk fans continue to demonize people on the left as killers and violent, and getting fired and ostracized are the results of disagreeing with Charlie Kirk's ideas and being conservative defiant. But the most striking part of all this was how the Fox host didn't even blink an eye when Brian Kilmeade suggested that the homeless and drug addicted just be herded into warehouses to be lethally injected and die.
So I put a correction from my video of the Minneapolis shooting of the homeless encampments that happened yesterday. I had said that the Fox person had said that somebody should go out there and shoot homeless brothers and sisters. But I was incorrect, everybody. And y'all know me. When I have an error or I make a mistake, I'm going to come back and I'm going to let y'all know. I made that error, everybody, listening to somebody else. But I was corrected. And what he said was, if the homeless didn't want any help, then they should take the lethal injection. And to me, that's no better whatsoever at all for a news anchor to say whatsoever at all. And even coming back with an apology, I don't feel like that apology is an actual apology. That apology is, oh, damn, I just messed up and said this on live TV. So I feel like that apology was, oh, I don't want any consequences to come behind this. I don't want to end up losing my job and or receiving backlash. And for him to say, if they don't want help, I can guarantee you he's not out there around our homeless brothers and sisters to know to sit there and to say something like that, not knowing if they won't help or not. I guarantee you he don't get out there and get involved with our homeless to know. Not only that, what people don't understand is it's not always as easy as people think it is just because you're saying it while you're living inside of your home and while you got pocket full of money and while you got money in the bank and while you got food to eat. People have no idea how hard it is to have the energy to get up and actually fight for the next day when you living in that type of situation where you got to scrounge for what you want to eat. You got to try to find somewhere to wash your butt. You got to try to find somewhere to brush your teeth. You got to try to find your next dollar and or your next opportunity for somebody to be able to give you a chance. It's not always as easy if our homeless won't help or not. Trust and believe that I done been around our homeless brothers and sisters enough. In fact, I used to live with our homeless brothers and sisters as I done been homeless a many a times in my goddamn life. And believe me, when I say that our homeless brothers and sisters do want goddamn help, yes, there's some homeless brothers and sisters that's comfortable with the life that they're living and they feel like it's easier for them to just continue living life the way that they live it. But there's a many more that wish that they could receive the help that they truly need. A lot of times when these places saying that they there to help our homeless brothers and sisters, yes, they helping them in some type of way, but they not helping them in the way that they truly need to help them to be able to make a change. Just because y'all see people out there helping our homeless brothers and sisters and such does not mean that that's the type of help that they need to change their damn life or their position in life. Talking about some if they don't want help. Of course they want motherfucking help. People just got to give them the help that they actually need to help them to stand on their feet. But the problem with our government is we all know that they don't want to give out that type of help. They want to give out the type of help that's going to keep you in the same position of coming back to them and needing them. They don't want to put people in a position where people don't got to go begging them or go crawling to them, asking them for help or looking to them to pick them up out the situation that they in. But the most sad and foul and fucked up part of this situation is somebody truly went and shot up a homeless encampment, 2 of them in Minneapolis, Minnesota, knowing damn well that our homeless are already dealing with hard enough issues as it is. And I want to continuously send prayers and love to those that was injured in this situation, as well as those 4 that was critically injured. I'm truly hoping that they survive and make it through this. And again, I want to send prayers and love down there to Minneapolis, Minnesota, as well as around our country, because there's some crazy stuff that's been going on around our country. And I just want to send prayers and love to everybody, and make sure y'all stay safe, y'all.
Lethal injections for homeless people. Like, what are we even discussing right now? Like, oh, we got to get them off the streets. It's either, they accept what we give them or, we could offer them lethal injections. Like, what? That is so sick. Casualties are needed in order to have the Second Amendment right. How many children have to die in order to see guns are the problem? Oh, it's people. It's people. It's the mental health. If you cared about mental health, then that means you cared about the affordability of life. That means you care about socialism, which means you want people to have better access, not only to living standards, but, education, healthcare. If you cared about somebody's mental health, then that means you have to focus on the things that causes somebody's mental health to decline. But y'all don't give a fuck about that other stuff. So you don't care about mental health. But you guys would rather people continue to die in this country. And somehow we send money, millions, billions to them star people. I can't say the name now. And they just taking money. And we suffering. We are dying. 2 black men were lynched this week in 1 day. There was a shooting in Minneapolis. 13. 5 critical.
Chai, God. The solution to what we are looking for is just to inject. That is an adult. He is an adult. He's not a baby. He was not forced. He just feel it is normal. Then they come out with some silly apology like, my words are wrong and I take it back. Your words are wrong. Out of the abundance of hearts, the mouth speaks. Your words are wrong, you take it back, but are you not still thinking of doing the same thing? This is a platform that we watch like literally every single day. I am on this platform. When I saw it, I was like, God, are you intoxicated by the mic? Or you just feel you have free speech and free wills, you can just say it out? It's not making sense. It's not making sense. I believe this is someone's father. I will keep saying it, right? Gentility is not stupidity. It's not. When you see some group of race are quiet, maybe trying to make sure peace reign and so on and so forth, it is not stupidity. But you always get to have this said palm-colored people committing this same mistake over and over again. Is either they are exposing each other on live show or they are saying something that they know that they are saying it directly to someone that look like me. The only way. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I don't want to talk too much. I don't want to talk too much because if I talk, it might be something else. Let me know what you think in the comment section about all of these clips that you've read, that you've seen, right? Let me know what you think. It already belongs to original creators of every clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. If you're a black person, be very careful. Your movements, every single thing, be very careful. Because that same day, Charlie was unalived. Over 20 people happened, but they were given less attention. But we were focusing on a particular one, and every single person wants us to mourn. They want us to cry. They want us to roll on the floor, break our head. This is just for educational purposes, and subscribe, like, comment, and share. With no further ado, I'm going to be Simba, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.